mouth is open because you want to bring the air over the top.
Okay.
And so one of the reasons you do that is that you're giving a chance for your retronasal effect to come into play, because you're not just smelling in the front, you're smelling it on the back. And Malbec is a beautiful varietal. It's very common as a blending varietal in France and in California. Most of the time when we see it in America, it's from Argentina. And they love it in Argentina because as a vine it produces an enormous crop. And so in Argentina they think more is better. So you'll see the Malbecs in a wine shop at a great price because they're allowing those vines to produce quite a bit of volume. This last year...
Do you think it's because it's overcropped?
Well, not for them. That's what they want to do. For us, we actually threw over half the Malbec on the ground this year, almost 60% of the Malbec, because in 2012 we had probably the best year in the past decade for the growing of the grapes based on the very consistent weather, no frost, no rain. It was just magical. So we're in the business of making the best possible wine. Many of the wineries in Napa Valley are buying fruit from growers. Over 75% of the fruit is owned by a grower, not by a winery.
Right.
So much of the time, the famous wineries that you're thinking of are buying 90-95% of their fruit and shaking hands and saying, we'd like to take these grapes. If you're growing, you're selling the biggest, fattest grape you can. Our focus then is not so much that we're getting the best grapes, because we're not done when we hand over the grape. We're done when you're tasting the Malbec in the glass. So Malbec is not a noble varietal in terms of Cabernet, in terms of the complexity and the richness. Cabernet is certainly the king of red grapes in terms of that. So I'm not dissing Malbec. I'm simply saying within the context of what we want from it, we want a flavor profile that's going to be an appropriate companion to the other Bordeaux varietals. The beauty of Malbec as a wine is that it's not as tannic as Cabernet or Merlot, so you won't feel that kind of astringency on the side of your tongue. And so it's very generous in terms of the fruit, a little bit of a plum tone of the fruit, and it's got good balance and acidity. This is a wonderful food wine with pizzas, maybe a little, I make a little flatbread with arugula and prosciutto and fig.
This is one of my house wines.
Yeah, it's so versatile.
Yeah, it is.
You know, a lot of times people